Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another Boruto 2 Blue Vortex discussion. Today, I want to talk to you guys about that cliffhanger ending that we got at the end of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 7, where Jura was sitting there reading so many books you thought that he read all 72 volumes of the Naruto manga, and the guy just looks up at the end of the chapter and says, well, it's time to go hunt Naruto Uzumaki and pay him a visit. Now, everyone rightfully got excited because it shows that these Shinju, they're wasting no time going after their targets. But I want to pull up a chair and bring up a question or a series of questions of whether or not Jura should be going after Naruto this early in Boruto 2 Blue Vortex's manga, because we're still in volume 2 of the story. And if he is allowed to go after Naruto, should there be more roadblocks in his way as a result of it? And they're questions that I think we need to discuss as a community going forward. So I think we all are in agreement that the introduction of the evolved Shinju has been a pleasant plot twist for Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, and the setup for this was very well done when you go back and reread everything from chapter 1. Boruto was dropping hints that the claw grinds were changing in ways beyond the control of someone as strong as Code, someone who's stronger than Jigen but weaker than Ishiki, and we got the hints that they were growing at a rate that Code was going to be in danger of losing them all together, which ended up being the case. Some of those evolved Shinju, they attempted to attack Code and they showed no regard for him before Code eventually left. These Shinju provide a nice change of pace by giving us new villains that don't give off the NPC vibes that the Claw Grimes did when Code first made that Ten Tails army. These evolved Shinju have the benefit of getting a good first showing where they pressured Boruto. They offered a bit of a mystery and intrigue by having the appearance of characters who we previously had interacted with, and we saw them quickly developing their own will as time went on, particularly with Jura, who had the aura of that final floor boss that you have in a video game. We saw the other Shinju battle Boruto, but Jura gave off that final boss vibe, and the decision to have him hovering over Boruto and all the other Shinju, it added to the weight of the impact of that scene that we were getting. The other Shinju, they clearly looked at him as his leader. Jura was the one giving the answers and guiding them to what their purpose was, giving off the vibes of someone who could be a future gaslighter and manipulator in the future, because so much of the Shinju's purpose has been invested in him via that leadership role. Matsuri wanted to swallow Konoha whole, yet she hasn't gone for him. Bug wants Ada, yet he hasn't gone for her. Hidari wants to consume Sarada, yet he hasn't gone for her. They each set aside their own immediate short-term goals in order to fall in line behind Jura, who spent the last couple of days in universe reading information and likely formulating a plan. While I get it, the idea of having the Shinju roll into Konoha with the intention to make a beeline for Naruto due to the fact that Code has been showcased as someone, while being strong, he's still clearly weaker than people like Boruto and Damon, so he possesses no real threat to them, especially now he doesn't have an army to back himself up. Code feels like an afterthought who is either going to be coming back with a vengeance or he's just on borrowed time until he gets taken out of the story altogether. You're not going to rush into Boruto versus Kawaki again, or rather I pray that you don't, because it's diminishing returns, because we saw Boruto versus Kawaki a handful of times in Boruto Naruto Next Generation, so them fighting again so soon after Boruto got that scar of his eye is cheapening the payoff because we've seen it so much. That only leaves the Shinju as a viable option to go forward with, and the story has a narrative that is shaping up for that, because right now everything appears to be going just a little bit too perfect for Boruto. He's come back to the village and he's embarrassed Code in their fight, playing him so hard that Code ended up taking him to where the Ten Tails was located, and it gives Boruto the weight off of his shoulders since the last time he fought Code, where he was too weak to stand beside his master Sasuke and ultimately his master fell in battle. Boruto's now regained some of his pride. He kept his promise to Sasuke to protect Sarada, and he's brought up to speed on everything, so now she knows about her father, but also about why for certain you can't allow the Shinju to bite you, so she can now move forward in battle armed with that valuable information. He's calmed his heart to the childhood friend Mitsuki, who believes that he killed Naruto. He told him, hey, I didn't do that, and hey, by the way, I'm really your son. He's got the current Hokage Shikamaru on his side assisting him from afar, and he's likely returning to his current master Kashin Koji, someone who the last time we saw him, he told Boruto, hey, it's time for us to prepare for battle. Everything is going too much on the upswing for Boruto, which is why you do have to pull the trigger on the Shinju now. But I think we're in a situation where if you go down this route, there needs to be something booked after this, pending this confrontation or series of confrontations that makes sense narratively, and it raises the stakes even further in a meaningful way that sets the stage for that eventual Boruto versus Kawaki confrontation, or you do something with Code's character, which I think that's the wild card that's being left out there for a reason. While all this chaos is going on, I'm not going to be shocked if we learned that Code ended up playing a role similar to Kabuto, where after Kabuto saw Orochimaru getting beaten by Sasuke, Kabuto was just lingering in the story in the manga in the background, not doing much of anything. But when he did come back, he reinvented himself, all while our attention was on the battles with the various Akatsuki members, and Kabuto shook the story up. I think you have a chance right now with these Shinju to fix the issues you had with Kara in the manga, where the manga, all the Kara inners, they were one-sided and they're bland for the most part. They were just these super strong human cyborgs, but they didn't have any layers to them, which the anime did address by having things like Boro be revealed to be in possession of a cult that worshipped the Otsutsuki, which added to the world building, and it gave more information on his character while also giving us signs that Code was someone stronger than he let on. The anime showed you scenes where it became clear that Code had something special with the relationship with Jigen. The anime took time to properly introduce Kara by having Sasuke and Sai look for them in the Hidden Rain Village and showing signs of Amato and Kashin Koji's betrayal with the extra scenes. All stuff that longtime viewers of the channel know that highly annoyed me, because you shouldn't have to rely on the anime to give you information the manga could have showed you with only a few pages in each chapter, like we got with the Sasuke flashback, where it wasn't super long, but it told us a lot of information. And that was one of my biggest gripes with the former writer of Boruto, Ukyo Kodachi, which is the pacing itself was fine, but the story felt more like bullet points and snapshots instead of actually fleshing out the materials, something that other monthly manga like Full Metal Alchemist, Attack on Titan, Rurouni Kenshin Hokkaido arc, and Dragon Ball Super have all managed to do effectively, all without having the narrative drag down the pacing too much. And if it slowed down like Attack on Titan, it wound up setting the stage for the literal last 2/3 of the manga story, where the pacing sped up like crazy and there was an enormous payoff. Boruto towards the end of part 1 slowed it down after Ishiki died, and we've been seeing the fruits of that labor for the last 25 chapters, and there's still more steam left there just from the end of Boruto Naruto Next Generations. There's still stuff that was introduced that hasn't been paid off from that era. I don't think, and I don't doubt, that there is a plot twist that is coming with these Shinju. I'm expecting something, whether it be Boruto ends up getting thrashed around by people like Jura, or someone like Jura ends up battling and attacking Sarada in an effort to lure out Code. It opens up in an effort to lure out Boruto. It opens up conflict with Hidari, who has Sasuke's chakra, which by extension means he should have memories via that chakra, Sarada being his daughter, so you have a potential for a double betrayal there. Having the Shinju come to Konoha and humble the likes of Boruto, the person who seems super unstoppable right now, being so strong and so much higher above Jigen that it's crazy to even think that he hasn't even used his Karma Seal, Kawaki, the guy who's in need of a wake-up call and getting more desperate by the minute, Sarada, who gets a major boost in character through the interactions that she's going to have with Hidari, Damon, who gets forced to fight with Bug Shinju in order to protect his sister from the guy who Damon used to torment on a daily basis, and Konohamaru, who just combusts into ashes the moment that Matsuri begins to mold her chakra. It's something that could raise the story a bit further, and it would begin paying off that line that Damon told Kawaki, which is that when Jura shows up demanding to see where Naruto is and saying that he can sense him, it's gonna leave Kawaki exposed. And as we said here on the channel, an exposed Kawaki, that is a dangerous Kawaki, because when he gets emotional, it leads to some rather questionable decisions that shake up the story. Case in point, he sealed away Naruto and Hinata, and you saw what happened after that. Having others get bitten by the Shinju potentially, like Damon, that definitely makes for a plot twist that not many people would expect. There are a few fires that you can set to stir up that can lead to setting up a payoff for us as readers later on down the line. I just wonder if it might be a bit too soon to have Jura specifically going after Naruto, because these Shinju have potential for a larger story, especially as you start showing more of the personalities and you start showing more of the links they're willing to go to for their goal, which is ultimately Boruto and Kawaki. I think there's something cooking here, but that's my main concern here, that this might be a mistake to have Jura in a potential confrontation with Naruto and get access to Naruto this early on, unless there's a plot twist that we haven't considered yet. However, that does lead me to my question for you guys. Which path do you think the story should take when it comes to the Shinju coming after Naruto? Should it go the route of bringing in other characters, or should they make a beeline directly to Naruto? In the meantime, click here to watch this video on why Ino's life might be in danger because she's helping Boruto.